Hey Scrubs, this is basically me just showing off a little bit of my new 400 plus mod Skyrim build thing. So I always start a new character or a new playthrough with Live Another Life mod. I'll choose camping in the woods because it drops you right outside Helga with enough supplies to get started. And I'll also use the Leveler's Tower mod because the Leveler's Tower spawns right next to it. So first I want to say I've got my recording settings set up so I shouldn't get that much background noise because my chair is squeaky as fuck. You can use the Leveler's Tower to teleport all around Skyrim at the start of the game, but don't worry about that, I'll show you that later. But I've got an orc vampire that I want to do a run through for, that's why I've built this mod list, but I've got a very specific playstyle for the orc in my head. I've also written a massive document about it, don't worry about that, it's super nerdy, but the purpose of this character is to test out all these mods in a playthrough and make sure that it all works as it should. The character in this playthrough is a Redguard female called Silver. This is me just messing around with the Draug amulet, just see what the undead skin looks like. That'd be fun for a future roleplay. Maybe force it into this one somehow, I'm not sure. The garden's got all sorts of herbs and different things you might want to pick for ingredients. It's really, really cool. The little Dwemer automatrons remind me so much of games like Dishonored, that sort of steampunk vibe. Just them working the fields with all these pipes everywhere, it's class, it's brilliant. So this pad that you're about to see is really important. It's a teleporter pad. It lets you teleport to anywhere within the Leveler's Tower, all the different rooms. But you can also, so each room has its own teleport pad, but you can select one pad to be the home teleport pad, the Leveler's Tower, and there's a spell that you can get from the library that when you cast it, it will teleport you back to the Leveler's Tower, to that specific room's pad. That's really cool. What you're seeing right now is my needs mod. Recognized that I ate a food that was added through a mod, so I didn't know what kind of food it was. Just need to put in some settings for that. Same with this water.
Got something to say? Spells and incantations for those with the talent to cast them.
Here I'm just checking if the mods have added anything groovy that I could have a look at. Being a bit nosy, making sure it all looks okay. So the reason I'm meticulously staring at this spell tome for cauterizing wounds is that I've got a mod that adds different wounded states to the game, like concussions, cuts. I've got 2 different bleed mods active right now. So I want that to be a big part of my combat, and this character is going to help me test that out before I play with my orc. Okay, so down here is where all the spell tomes are kept, and it's not like you take them, you sort of activate them like buttons and then they get added to your inventory. So here's the spell I was talking about earlier. You cast Leveler's Tower spell and it'll take you to whatever pad in the Leveler's Tower that you've activated as the home pad. Really nice. But as you can see here, we've got like walking on water, we've got Leveler's Fire or Frost, which is sort of like a cheat version of the vanilla one.
Huh?
Okay, so this is a very important room of the tower. This is where all the important decisions get made. This is the laboratory. This is where you can decide what skills you're going to level up before you start your playthrough. So you're about to watch me pump a load of skills into one-handed, light armor, sneak, archery. I want to get my character to like level 5, I think, would be quite good. Don't walk into the beam in the middle of the room because it'll fucking kill you. I'm using Ordinator perk overhaul because it's just amazing. I loves it. The reason you see me going in and out of the level up menu quite a lot is I've got a mod that gives you 50% more perk points. So every second level you get another perk point on top of your normal one. But it doesn't show in the UI, so you have to exit and then re-enter the menu and then it'll appear. At the start of the game, I'm going to be using the Steel Sword of Venom, which inflicts poison damage, and 2 daggers, one of which is a crucifix. Really like these weapons. So, because I've got the bleeding mods on, and they're fully tweakable, daggers do the most bleed damage over time. So that's why she's taking 2 daggers. Because usually in Skyrim, unless you're an assassin, in which case you usually pull a dagger out, do a sneak attack, put it away, get a real weapon out. Now this bleed mod will hopefully make these 2 daggers a bit more viable. We'll see. We'll see. The maps are easy as pie. You just pick a flag on one of the 3 maps, click on it, and you'll teleport right there. Okay, baby's first steps. So I'm going to lie and say that damage was intentional so I could test out the cauterize mod, but falling doesn't cause bleeding. Didn't get any traumas from that either, so that was a bit of a whiff.
Make it quick.
Huh?
Need something? Take a look.
Quite a few people ask me what visual mods I use for the landscapes and things like that, and the weather and lighting. I'm probably going to do a video dedicated to that probably this week, so it'll be by the end of May that'll be done. I want to share that with people, but it's not as complex as you'd think. I try to be quite minimalistic with my sweeping textures, so I haven't got a million mods trying to retexture the same thing. I've tried, but it hasn't hasn't always worked. Oh, they look so cool. So I've got the, oh god, I can't remember. I'll have a look at what it's called, but it's basically the first-person camera overhaul. So when you look down, you'll be able to see your body. And the way it does this is by drawing the third-person character model whilst in first-person underneath you.
Need something? See you around.
Oh, did you need something? I'd better get going.
Need something?
Yes? Need something? Need something? Need something?
And what might you need?
Let me guess. Someone stole your sweet roll.
So the bar above my health, magicka, and stamina is the clock. It tells you what time of day it is. I've got my I need widgets at the bottom, so food, water, sleep. So I need I need all of those things. On the right is my equipment. It's basically your equipment health. So when I get below, I think it's 80% durability on my equipment, it will then show up with that percentage number next to the item. This is my first fight with all these combat mods on. I've got one hell of a bleeding mod on as well, so I'm going to try and see what I can do here. I didn't know this going in, but I'm about to get roughed up pretty badly by these goblins. I need to reconfigure the wound chances and the bleed damage. So there's one goblin, takes a hit, missed the second arrow. Yep, so now I've been wounded. Put the bow away, brilliant. Nearly actually died there. So I'm not being a coward, I'm just taking a tactical retreat. It says it causes 0 damage, but I think that's because it's less than a 1 value. I think it's 0.5 or 0.75 bleed a second. But it's not like one bleed effect. You can have stacking bleeding, so... And here are the traumas. Your arm is injured, you deal less damage. Excellent, that's what you want. Okay. You can see my health bar slowly ticking down. Shouldn't have poked my head back up here. Take another arrow, shoot the fucking floor. Now remembering that I've got the cauterize spell. Oh, light bulb. So if I was really unlucky now, I might become addicted to taking potions. Luckily that doesn't happen because we're getting put through by 2 goblins. There's one dropped. Into the drink with you, boy. Fuck me, this other one's got full health. Okay, so it's not like every hit causes bleed. It's, I think for NPCs with bows, it's a 50% chance on a hit to bleed. I think. Okay, here we go. Can't use a dagger in my right hand, so I was just gently punching him, giving him little love taps. Equip it into the left hand, and I can finally attack again. Christ. Okay, so... Took an arrow to the face. So I've got scarcity mods on, so loot is 10 times more rare, but NPCs will still have their equipment and things like that. It's just things like chests and barrels in the wild should have less loot in them. Because I've got a massive economy mod overhauling how much everything costs as well, because I want it to be a bit less easy for me to just win everything. Here I'm realizing that I've got no way to heal and I'm slowly bleeding to death, and I've literally got a couple of apples and some seared slaughterfish to try and keep me alive until I get the riverwood. trying my best to cauterize the wound. It's not the bleeding effect that's causing it, it's actually a wound. So without visiting a healer or someone who's flagged as a person who could sell me a quote-unquote cure wounds potion, I will keep bleeding for the duration of that damage, which is 2 minutes on the bleed for the arm wound. So I'm bolting over to Riverwood to try and get someone to heal me. I jumped in the river there to avoid any more wolf attacks, because a wolf attack right now could be the end. And the courier's got something for me. Excellent. That's what I need right now. I'm literally bleeding everywhere. Prison of Agony, that's a great mod. That's not the trader. Get a grip.
Yeah. Well, one of us has to do something. Need something?
Love the visual effects when you're wounded.
A bit of that.
Okay, so if it's got healing, I want it. My plan here is he hasn't got the pots I need, so I'm going to try and outlive the bleed.
As if things weren't bad enough.
Need something?
Come on in. Just stoked the fire. Take a seat and get the cold out. What can I do for
Are
you?
you listening?
Hard not
You're that
to.
visitor. Sure thing. It's yours for a day. The ale is going bad. We need to get a new batch. Did you hear me?
Yep, ale's going bad.
I guess you don't have potatoes in your ears after all.
Okay, so I've got a room. I can't use a bed because of how badly wounded I am. I think my health doesn't regen if it's below 30, I think. Or is it 30%? I'm not sure. But I'm still taking bleed damage here. But it's going to wear off in a sec, so I should be able to sleep.
Yes.
Oh, did you need something?
Okay, so here I've got one need, and it's water. I've got water skins, and I've got a mod that lets me refill if I'm in a river. It's really helpful. And this goose added by one of the mods. Got a funky neck, that's cool. Yeah, so I'll do my landscape and environment, weather, and lighting mod video. Probably in a couple of days. Oop. Beautiful. Drink from the river. Refill my water skins. The reason I'm running out back the way I came is I want to fight the wolves and see if my injuries are in real time or if
Need
it's game
something?
time.
Until next
I'm pretty
time.
sure it's game time. I think what was happening is because I've got so many scripts going at the same time, it just lags a little bit. So it shows it's still being active, but it's actually been cancelled out. It still shows up in the menu, but we'll see. Going hunting. I absolutely love the animations from Archery Gameplay Overhaul. They're so beautiful. And they look great with the mod that gives you your body view in first person. It looks really impressive. I'm a little bit of a scaredy cat since I got my shit pushed in by those 2 goblins. I'm just being very... Oh. Is it a bug or a feature? Yes. So I want to go into the mine and... Hiccup. So I want to go into the mine and basically see how some of the other mods are working together. So I've got the sneak tools mod so I can take... Shit, is that another feature? I don't know. Can you usually take torches away or put them back? Not sure. But it's very sort of reminiscent of Thief. Now here I was expecting the 2 bandits you usually get. They've actually been offed by a goblin. Which is hilarious. One bandit, 2 bandits, and a goblin. Well, shit. hilarious. We've got more goblins fighting the bandits in the cave. It's hilarious. No, I don't think so, boys. Didn't get the bleed on the goblin there. I tell you what, have I reduced it to 25% by this point? I think I might have. So there's a chance, a 25% chance per arrow that there'll be a bleed effect. So I was thinking bleeding that stacks with each arrow hit is kind of excessive when you've got 4 or 5 guys shooting at you. It really does add up, especially if they're all landing multiple hits. At low levels anyway. I'm sure at high levels you could just restoration your way through it, but at low levels, a couple of arrow hits, dangerous enough. Not sure what happened here. I think it's because of a torso injury. My guy collapsed. Oh shit, I died. Basically. I thought I was dead, and then voila. Up again. So now I've done the fighting, I've got an injury, I'm going to pray to increase my standing with my god that I've basically chosen to pledge myself to. And then... oh, injury's healed, that's cool. Ah, I didn't notice that before. Okay, that's quite a nice way to end the video. Ending with a prayer. Okay, so if you want to see the landscape video, the environment mods, and the lighting mods, like, subscribe, and I'll put it up probably in about 5-6 days time. Thank you.